You might have noticed that I've never really looked at or talked about or opened any of the legendary decks. This is something that Konami's been doing for a couple years now. The first one I'm really not going to ever look at just because it was pretty much just entirely for nostalgia bait, and I think that's perfectly fine. I think we need to have products like that to get old players back into the game, but I'm not really interested in it. And then the second one was cool. It reprinted a lot of the Red Eyes and Blue Eyes cards, if I remember correctly. Not Alternative White Dragon, but most of the other things it reprinted. But this one actually was pretty good. This one came out about a year ago in late September or early October, one of the two. And this one has Cyber Dragons, Dark Magician, and Pendulum, or I guess Odd Eyes. And that's kind of weird that it has Dark Magician. Basically, they're just doing that for two reasons. The first reason is that, oh, I guess Dark Magician has some fusion extra deck monsters, but I think the real reason that they wanted to put Dark Magician with the rest of these cards is because all those cards at the time of this thing being released were actually still very expensive, despite the deck not being good. So to get more old players back into the game that maybe like Dark Magician, they print the legendary dragon decks to get them back in. And I think that overall, this one's pretty good. It has some competitive cards. We're going to go through it and see if it stands up after a year. And another reason that I want to look at this is because the next one that we're getting, I'm actually really, really excited for, because it has Neospatians, I believe, and it has Nordics, but more importantly, it has Phantom Knights, which is one of my favorite strategies of all time. They're getting a new Link monster, a new trap. But anyway, let's jump right into this one. Like I said, this was released a year ago, so many of these cards, hopefully, I think there actually are some important reprints in here. I know that one that I picked up recently was the Cyber Dragon, the Chimera Tech card, which you can see right on top. And yeah, I actually think that compared to the Noble Knight thing that we just opened, this is actually how that Noble Knight thing should have been. You have three different decks here. Obviously, you know the Noble Knight one, but all the decks in general have a lot of good reprints and not printed in a terrible rarity. Nothing else in the box. This one kind of ignores, I don't know, a lot of the fluff that the other, like the Noble Knight thing had. There's no mat in this one. There's not even really a rule book, which is kind of strange. But I think they actually stopped printing official rule books in the sets, which is kind of funny. They just have the starter guides. Anyway, though, I don't know which one to open first. I guess the Dark Magician one is fine. Obviously, I'm not the biggest fan of Dark Magician, but I know that it can be frustrating when decks that aren't that great are also very expensive. In the case of Blue Eyes, Dark Magician, and even Red Eyes, kind of, that was sort of what was happening, where the decks themselves weren't very good. Oh, they have a little pull tab. I'm just stupid. But they have this thing where like the decks themselves aren't very good, but the cards are so expensive, so that's kind of disappointing. So we'll open that one. So the extra deck, the new extra deck monster that they included here. Zoom in a second. We have Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. This card's name becomes Dark Magician while it's on the field or in the graveyard. Your opponent cannot target spawn trap cards you control with card effects. They can also not be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So that's pretty cool. It's kind of your way to protect some of your cards. It's kind of nice. The main idea of this card in particular is to protect your Eternal Soul, which is one of the most hilarious cards in the Dark Magician deck just because it blows up. One of the really important reprints from this set in particular was Apprentice Illusion Magician. This card was a jump promo and it was like $50 for one copy, and you needed like 2 or 3 of them. So that was a lot to ask of someone that was trying to play Dark Magician. So they reprinted it in here. I'm not super happy with the fact that they reprinted it as an Ultra, which is what it was printed in originally. I think in the case of reprinting jump promos, they should be printed in different rarities to sort of distinguish them, but it's cool reprint nevertheless. We have Dark Magic Circle, which was a secret rare when it was first printed. Pretty cool card. One of the more important Dark Magician cards because it just searches whatever you need. There we go, Eternal Soul. This card's so funny because it actually is really good besides the fact that it blows up all your cards when it dies. And man, yeah, this card has so much potential. Both the effects are really good. It's just like that destruction effect, man, it keeps you down. Magician Navigation, once again printed as a secret rare, and that's it for it. So each deck looks like it has 5 ultra rare cards, maybe just the 1 new card though. So this is kind of what the Noble Knight thing probably should have been, where you have a bunch of good cards like it does, but you have them in good rarities like ultra rare, and even commons, probably better than the platinum rare that we saw. A lot of people actually said they like that rarity for some reason. So we have Dark Magician, Dark Magician Girl, Magician's Robe, pretty cool card. Second Dark Magician. Third Dark Magician, oh my gosh. Second, oh cool, we actually get a lot of duplicates. Which might sound bad, but from a competitive standpoint, that helps you not have to buy 100 of these, although they don't have duplicates of the Ultras, unfortunately. Magician's Rod. 2 of those. Cool. So yeah, actually that's even just starting out with getting multiple copies of Robe and Rod. I think those cards are pretty good for the Dark Magician strategy. One of them at least is a staple 3 of. Not entirely sure. Skilled Dark Magician. Got 2 of those. 3 of those. Oh my gosh. Legendary Knight Timaeus. Legendary Knight Kritas. Probably pronouncing him wrong. We got Hermos. Got Breaker. That's a cool card. Magical Exemplar. That card's really cool. Big Shield Gardna. Classic Yugi card. Absolute Crusader. Originally printed as a super rare in Generation Force, I believe. We got 2 of those. Holy crap. That's it for the monsters. So you got some like playable stuff. Dark Magic Curtain. Illusion Magic. That card's pretty nice. Dark Magic Expanded. Is this a new card? Well, new one. This came out probably with these effects in sequence. It's a quick play spell. Does some stuff. I don't know if that's a new card, but I've never seen that played, so it must not be that great. Dark Magic Inheritance. Banish 2 spell cards from your graveyard. Add 1 spell trap from your deck to your hand. That specifically lists the card Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl on its card text, except Inheritance. That's kind of cool. I think like one of the biggest issues with this deck is that you can't search Eye Timaeus with this card or the Dark Magic Circle. That's like one of the biggest downsides, so that kind of sucks. 1,000 Knives. Dark Magic Attack. Eye of Timaeus, which is what I just mentioned. So the reason that you can't search this card is because it says, and this is really tricky for new players and even for old players, so it says that you can target one Dark Magician monster you control. Technically speaking, a Dark Magician monster can be lots of things, not just Dark Magician, so you can't search this card with the cards that say you have to specifically list the card name Dark Magician. It's a little wonky. I'm not sure I entirely agree with that ruling. That's how all these cards are named. The Fang, Claw, Legend of Heart, pretty cool. So you get a lot of the Dragons of Legend stuff reprinted in this set, which is kind of neat. I'm not sure if they had reprints before this. Like, yeah, I guess this was printed after the third Battles of Legend or whatever those sets were called. Swords, Pot of Duality, nice card. Rhoda. Do we have warriors in here? There's this guy. Rhoda for your 3 warriors, nice. Yeah, you can't add those guys. Rhoda for 3 warriors. All right, okay. I won't question it. So you can search that Big Shield Gardna. Dark Renewal, Crush Card Virus, the eroded version, unfortunately. Mirror Force, Tyrant Wing, Dark Paladin. Oh, we got. Is this all Exodus cards for the rest? Dark Paladin. Oh, it is nice. Amulet Dragon. Okay. We got the Magician Girl, Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight. Card is actually both of these cards are actually pretty expensive. You only pulled like 1 every 2 boxes back in the day. Doom Virus Dragon, Tyrant Burst Dragon, Mirror Force Dragon. Look at all these dragons. Time Magic Hammer, Rocket Hermos Cannon, and Goddess Bow. And then the last card, which already has a dent on it, is I don't even know what this card is. The Red Eyes Black Dragon Sword. Okie dokie. So they actually give you like a huge extra deck. That's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 card extra deck. That's pretty insane. I don't think they do that for the other ones. Maybe they do. I guess we can keep that out. So that was the Dark Magician deck. Pretty good. Like I said, I think that this kind of shows why the Noble Knight deck was so bad, was because it didn't have really any duplicates of like the important cards. Like it had 2 boars and it had 2 of many of the whatchamacallit, some of the Noble Knight equip spells that had 2 copies of, but it didn't really have like a lot of the good cards that had 2 copies. So for the Odd Eyes one, do Ultras first. So first we have the new card, which is Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon. This card's actually pretty decent. Maybe a little past its prime. Maybe it came out a little too late, but it certainly is a good card, so it's glad that we finally got it. We have the alternate artwork for Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. I actually like the original artwork more, but it's cool to have. We got Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. Pretty cool looking ultra rare. Clearwing Synchro Dragon. Once again. Oh, these are just, yeah, all the alternate artworks. Clearwing Synchro Dragon. This artwork is pretty cool. And Dark Rebellion Exceed Dragon. So this one's, the reprints maybe aren't as good as far as the Ultras go compared to the Dark Magician ones. All the Dark Magician reprints were actually kind of pricey when this came out. But it is cool getting the alternate artworks. Anyway, for the structure deck itself, assuming we have 3 copies of Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, maybe not though. Well, we have the one right there. It's kind of weird that they give you an Ultra and a common version of the same card. And then we have Supreme King Dragon Odd Eyes Phantom Dragon, Odd Eyes Persona. That was once again, both these decks seem to, the first 2 that we've looked at seem to reprint important jump cards. This was a jump promo as well, so that card is expensive. Oh, they get 2 of them. Nice. Phantom Dragon again. Mirage Dragon. Pretty cool. Light Phoenix, that card's good. Unicorn's good as well. People play those a lot back when the last summer that this was played. Perform Impel, Skull Crobat Joker, Rip. Oh boy, we can't play either of those copies. Rain Goat, this card actually came up. It's kind of an anti-cheese card, because I'm pretty sure that's the one that you discard to negate effect damage. We have Perform Impel, something. Formal You Go Golem. Alright. Noble Magician Dragon, that's cool. Noble Dragon Magician, I should say. That's it for the monster cards. Once again, you see a lot of duplicates, which is nice. Sky Iris. Probably 2 copies of it. Nice. Odd Eyes Fusion. Very cool reprint. I think at this point we did have... Well, no. This was a year ago. Oh, yeah, I guess... Yeah, this reprint's pretty good. This card's seen a couple reprints, but it's always a good card to have, so glad they printed that. Odd Eyes Advent. So we must have the Ritual card in here. This is one of the new cards. Spiral Flame Strike. This card's really good. Activate one of these effects if you control an Odd Eyes card, target one card in the field and destroy it, or you can search an Odd Eyes monster from your deck to your hand, or a guy from your extra deck to your hand. So that's really good, and yeah, this card's so cool. It sucks because like cards like this just aren't good enough for like competitive play. I mean, Odd Eyes certainly is not like the worst deck ever, but cards like this are like really impactful. I wish they would have printed this like when Pendulums first came out. We have Duelist Alliance, which at the time was actually very expensive. It was just a secret rare. Pendulum Impenetrable. Pendulum Storm. Man, this card is one of the cards that I liked a lot back when Pepe was a big deck. You could do this to pop both the Scales and a Solemn Strike. Pretty good. Pot of Riches, which we just talked about in the Reviewing Every Pot card video. Got Terraforming, 2 copies for those Sky Irises. Echo, Oscillation, Pendulum, Reborn. A lot of people actually thought this card would see play in Magispectors. Pendulum Switch. 2 copies of it, and then for the extra deck monsters, doesn't seem like as many as last time, but still a lot of them. Well, I guess counting the Ultras, that's actually a lot. So we got Supreme King Dragon Starting Venom, obviously really good card, pretty sure it's banned right now. Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon, very powerful. Perform Gatling Ghoul. Yeah, card's pretty good. Supreme King, all Supreme Kings. Odd Eyes Meteor Burst, another Supreme King, and Odd Eyes Absolute. So once again, a lot of good cards in here. Pretty much, if you bought this, these legendary dragon decks, and then like a box of the Pendulum Magician booster box, you would actually have probably enough for most of the Pendulum Magician deck when it came out, which is pretty cool. Last but not least, we have the Cyber Dragon list, and I will probably be using this copy. I can't even figure out how to freaking open this. Am I like missing it? There it is. Jeez, those are hard. There was like one couple years where they had I'm like destroying the back card here. There's one couple of years where they had one couple of years. Nice English major stuff here. But there was a time period where they had these pull tabs on them that you could see. They were like in white, which was really easy to pull. Anyway, Commander Check Mega Fleet Dragon. I've already raved about this card enough. This card's really good this format, in tandem with Cyber Dragon. So yeah, I'll definitely be using that card. We got Cyber Repair Plant. Pretty cool. Cyber Network, which prior to this release didn't have a holographic printing, but I'm pretty sure it's been since reprinted as a holographic. Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon. It's cool to have it in ultra rare instead of just super. And Cyber Dragon Infinity. Very cool. Those cards. And we got obviously new Cyber Dragon cards coming out in a couple weeks actually. Cyber Dragon, probably 3 copies of it. Cyber Dragon Zwei. Dre. Another Cyber Dragon. Some more of those guys. See, that's what I mean. Like these decks are so cool because they just they reprint a whole bunch of. You don't just get like 1 copy of this guy. You get like 2, maybe even 3. Who knows? And it's like I think that's really cool. I think they did a good job with these decks. We got 3 Cyber Dragon Core. See, that's the kind of stuff that you do not get in structure decks anymore. And these aren't technically structure decks. They're sort of like the legendary decks. So they're a little bit different setup. But like this is the kind of value you just don't get out of that like Noble Knight box that costs like $50. This thing costs $30 and you get like 3 pretty competent decks. Proto Cyber Dragon, Cyber Valley, Cyber Phoenix. Oh, 2 of those. Cyber Dinosaur. Kind of the weird Cyber Dragon card. Cyber Eltanin, which we can now search with the secret rare that just came out in the Battles Legend set. Got 2 copies. Armored Cybern. Gotta give those the Union monsters. Oh, got Machina Fortress. Very cool. So we probably got Gear Fame in here too. Oh, no, just Machina Fortress. Okay, never mind. We got a second copy of Cyber Dragon or Cyber Repair Plant, but it's a common. That's once again we're seeing that. I don't know if they. Did I miss that with Dark Nation deck? Maybe they gave us like Conditions Navigation or something. But yeah, it's cool to have multiple copies of the card. Oh my gosh, we got 3. That's amazing. Cybernetic Fusion Support, Evolution Burst. We got 3 copies of those. You can destroy tons of stuff. Power Bond, 2 copies. Overload Fusion, maybe 2 copies. Nice. Future Fusion, and this is the... yeah, the errata version, unfortunately. Poor Future Fusion. That card is not very good anymore. A little too slow. Limiter Removal, pretty fun card. Machina Armored Unit, we got some more cards. Cyber Network again. Common and Ultra Rare in this, which is, once again, I don't mind that too much. Cyber Shadow Gardener, really cool card in Trap Monsters. No one plays that deck anymore. We got Storming Mirror Force, Quaking Mirror Force, Drowning Mirror Force to round out the trap cards. And we got lots of extra deck cards here. Probably all the different Cyber Dragon fusions. So we got Cyber End Dragon, Cyber Twin Dragon, Chimera Tech, Cyber Twin Dragon. Oh yeah, original Chimera Tech. Well, I guess this one's an original Chimera Tech. But Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, very cool as well. Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon, and two Cyber Dragon Novas to round out all the extra deck monsters. Anyway, that is going to wrap up this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I think these decks do stand up the test of time, especially compared to the first batch of legendary decks, just because of the first 2 batches, really. Because these ones seemed a little bit more competitive than those other ones. I obviously like the value out of these, especially compared to that Noble Knight box, which was almost twice as much and came with like a third of the cards, and the cards in there weren't that great. This one I think is actually a really good starting point for a new player trying to pick up the game. So yeah, I like these a lot, and I'm really excited for the hero decks. I think they're called the Legendary Hero decks, mainly because Phantom Knights. So when that comes out in a couple months here, absolutely I will be opening it and probably buying 3 copies just to get that Phantom Knight card. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.